So I've been putting this video off for a long time now. I've had this idea ever since I came across this bald guy named Bald and Bankrupt, who many of you might already know. But for those of you who haven't seen his content yet, I'd highly recommend checking it out. He's this British guy who taught himself to speak Russian and traveled across all these post-Soviet countries, getting into all sorts of trouble with the local Gopniks and even the very government of Russia itself. From the very first video I watched of him, I knew I wanted to follow in his footsteps and do something similar. I started learning Russian over 2 years ago while I was still in the Navy, and not too long ago I got out of the military. And to say the very least, the entire romance of getting out has gone away, and life's felt something like this.
I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and I feel so loved. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Have your friends collect your records and then change your number. I guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that
I've kept telling myself for a few months now I just need to lock in and get it together. But recently I went on a trip to Tbilisi, Georgia for my 24th birthday by myself, and I wanted to share that all with you today. Enjoy. And already... So we just walked out of our hotel, and already you can see that. Yeah, on every single corner around here, you're gonna find a lot of writing similar to that. With the whole situation going on right now, I think that goes without saying. But somebody was even telling me not too long ago, while I was in the airport, that whatever you do when you're in Georgia, don't speak Russian with people because they might get offended by that. But everywhere I walk, I'm constantly hearing people speaking Russian, or even the older generations here in Tbilisi still speak Russian. As you'll see in Georgia, there are a lot of stray dogs around the streets. It's a little sad. I've seen a few dogs almost get hit a few times. And that's another thing. The drivers here in Georgia are pretty insane. I think that's pretty characteristic of this area in the world. But sometimes in life you just have to say fuck it and stop caring what other people think. You know, stop living for the opinions of other people, because I'm traveling here alone right now. This is a solo trip to Tbilisi, Georgia for my birthday. Being here by myself, I feel like a lot of the enjoyment you get from doing anything is being able to share it with somebody else. A lot of ways you have to just stop caring what other people think.
Что в этом доме с ноября 1851 года и до января 1852 года жил и работал над своей первой повестью детства великий русский писатель Лев Николаевич Толстой.
And right here, I just wanted to mention a few things, because this wouldn't be an honest review if I didn't give you the whole picture. This is a very beautiful city, probably the most beautiful I've ever been to. But one thing that was impossible to ignore was just the amount of graffiti I saw everywhere. And I am not exaggerating when I say that almost every single building I saw had some form of graffiti on it. And it's one thing when it's graffiti that's done well and adds to the overall atmosphere like you see in some places, but when it's just some bullshit painted on the side of a building that looks like some bored middle schooler did it, I think you should lose your hand privileges. I did keep seeing this one guy over and over again. I don't know if it was just the same person painting him all over the place, or if it's some kind of inside joke, or maybe even George and Walter White. If anybody has any more information on that, leave a comment below. But anyways, like I said in the intro, this is a trip that I took by myself for my birthday. And if you want to talk about stepping out of your comfort zone, I think this takes the cake. the birthday cake, if you will. I've always been a bit more introverted and fear talking to strangers. Now imagine taking that fear and being in a country where you might get lucky and be able to speak your native language. Thankfully, the Georgian people for the most part are very welcoming, despite what the walls might say. And I was able to make some new friends along the way.
Немного, да?
Не, просто тебе надо хвала просто. Просто чтобы мы не видны были. Ты снимай. Нет
Да,
проблем.
да, хорошо.
Если где-то будем видны, нет проблем. Можешь снять.
Хорошо.
Там или здравствуй, или что-нибудь.
Я не буду снимать.
Нет проблем.
Снимать тебя.
Нет проблем. Если хочешь, снимай. Если хочешь, снимай. You can do on camera and you can снять можешь. И там все. Привет, так. Нет проблем.
Хорошо.
Был как митинг, и этого 9 апреля на этом митинге много грузинов убили. И насчет этого назвался это Георгий Леонидзе. Да, и он был тоже там. И
He was like an important figure of that.
yeah, okay. И даже на этой акции убили много людей, грузинов. Насчет этого 9 апреля называется.
Okay. Now we're in a park. It's called the 9th of April Park because I guess in this area there was some protests that were held. And yeah, that's what my new Georgian friend just told me. So that's about the extent that I know of this place. Да,
Пойдем.
да, пойдем. My friends just told me this church behind us. We're about to go in there right now. But it's from the 19th century, so it should be pretty cool.
And right here, we're entering the Kashveti Church. It's a Georgian Orthodox church in central Tbilisi. And one thing that caught me off guard about Tbilisi was just the amount of young people that seemed to respect their Orthodox Christian roots. Because as soon as anybody laid eyes on these churches, they would immediately stop what they were doing and cross themselves 3 times. But I guess it's not too surprising when you see these temples and the beauty that radiates from without and within them. Now, Georgia was a Soviet republic, a part of the Soviet Union from 1921 until 1991. And under Soviet rule, many Orthodox churches were either confiscated, closed, or simply destroyed. And being a part of the clergy meant being arrested, exiled, or executed. And just across the street from this church was their parliament building on Shota Rustaveli Avenue, where, fun fact, a week later after I came back, the citizens started protesting in front of this building, and many more due to their ruling class decided to postpone their admission into the European Union for another 4 years, which did not make its citizens happy.
Shouting and pointing laser pens, and police don't respond. And this continues for several hours. And then come the fireworks, the weapon of choice for demonstrators.
And at this point in the video, we're getting into old Tbilisi. And you can hear me say in this clip,
Stalin.
and that's because in a lot of these souvenir shops around Tbilisi, they sell these little statues of Joseph Stalin. Because Joseph Stalin himself was, fun fact, actually Georgian. The man of steel himself, who refused to trade a German field marshal for his son that was captured by the Nazis, saying, "I'm not gonna trade that piece of crap for a field marshal." The same man who said that all his warm feelings for humanity died after his first wife died of tuberculosis at 22. The same man who never said sorry once in his lifetime because he didn't speak English. They ended up taking me to their neighborhood, buying me beer, and offering me a bottle of homemade Georgian vodka called Cha-Cha. But I think after expressing to them my doubts about getting through the airport security with a bottle half full of cloudy, mysterious fluid, they understood.
What is that? What the fuck is that? What is that, Private Pie?
And made me take 2 shots.
Eat? Yeah, it's good. Okay?
And then proceeded accordingly by getting into some tomfoolery. Afterwards, we went to a restaurant where we got himkarin and khachapuri, and of course, more vodka. It's really cool, despite everything going on in the world, and the language barrier, and my awkward self. Someone like me can come out here and just find friends in the street like that. The Georgian people are super hospitable. The food is extraordinary, and if you're someone that's also learning Russian like me, it's a great place to practice your skills on the street. After this video, I don't remember much of this night, and someone I love might watch this video, so I won't say this night ended with any sort of tomfoolery like prostitutes or anything. I'll just say that if you've made it this far into the video, I'm very grateful for you taking the time out of your day to listen to my nonsensical rambling and watch this video. And also shout out to Yuri and his brother Toko for being cool and making me feel welcome in their country. Till next time.
За дружбу. Давай. Go to our